It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I was in Lidl doing just my weekly shop and I come across some new beer. And I was really excited to come across this new beer because it's like well-known, well-regarded British breweries that have brewed beer exclusively to Lidl. I'm going to start off with this series. It's a 4-part series. There's 4 beers. There's a beer from Harbour, Magic Rock and Thornbridge. But I'm going to start off with a Fourpure beer. This is the Bermondsey Helles Lager. It's 4% ABV. I do like a Helles. I think it's just terrific tasting lager. So without further ado, the beer cost me £1.19. Again, I'm doing good with the receipts. Why there's a hammer on my bar, I don't know. Weird. I put the dog out this morning for the toilet, and I seen that hammer. It's almost like someone kind of got in here and put a hammer on my bar just to wind me up. Anyway, beer in the glass, and let's get it out. Put it into a glass. So Fourpure Helles. Let's go. I'm going to use. I reckon this is a pretty decent Helles glass to use. So £1.19 a can. I think that's really respectable. I think that's really reasonable. The German supermarkets, Aldi, Lidl, they're generally very good at producing lagers. If I buy beer from Lidl or Aldi, then I'm generally looking towards lagers. They're just very good at doing it. They're just very good at they're German. So you can pick up some fantastic Pilsners for like dirt cheap, like £1 a can and stuff, which is terrific. So I'm expecting this to be really good, even though it's brewed by a British brewery. 2-finger white head, good levels of slow-moving carbonation. It's a slightly hazy looking straw-coloured kind of Pilsner there. Looks very good. Get the aroma. It smells lovely. Lovely, fruity, light kind of lemon and lime fruity. More of a citrus fruity. Slight peppery spiciness coming through. A little bit of an esteriness coming through from the yeast. I know estery isn't a word, but I like to use it. It's my own word for kind of like that yeasty aroma you get in a beer. I'm going to have a t-shirt made up with estery across the front. Right, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, now then. Oh, now then. This is a bit different. This has got a real kind of big, crisp, malty taste to it. And I wasn't expecting it. Oh, what a shame. I mean, it's £1.19. It's still relatively cheap per can. But in terms of Helles Lager or Hell's Lager, it's quite different. What you normally get from a Helles Lager is it starts off with a very clean taste. You get a little bit of that crisp malt coming through. And then that balances it off with a little bit of bitterness on the back end. But being a Helles, and being a really good German Helles, I can drink pints of the stuff. I was actually in Germany a couple of years ago, and my love affair with Helles Lager really kind of began there. I went with this company here. You might see the U's on the board there, on the mirror. It's Brewery Uberquell, and I was in Hamburg in Germany, and I arrived at this. I've been traveling for something like 8 to 10 hours. I flew from Cardiff to Amsterdam to Hamburg, and long journey, 8-hour type of thing. By the time I got to the brewery, it's like an 8-hour journey. So by the time I arrived at the brewery, you know, when you've got that kind of like lethargic travel feeling, you're like, ooh. Dropped the bags off at the hotel, made my way to the brewery, sat down, sunny afternoon, and they said open this little door. They had an outside fermenter, about 4 outside fermenters, and they had doors on them. So you'd open up the door to this little room, this inside this outside fermenter, and then there was a tap, and they just said open up the tap and pour yourself a beer. So I literally poured myself a fresh as you like, brewed on site Helles Lager, and that changed my world. That changed my sitting there drinking, watching everybody enjoy pizza, drinking a crisp Helles Lager was a beautiful experience. And I've loved Helles Lager ever since. Whenever I see it, I buy it. So I've drunk a lot of it. This one, unfortunately, falls quite a bit short of what I would expect from a Helles Lager. Nice carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth. It tastes like a cheap ale. There's nothing wrong with it. It just tastes like a base malt beer with a little bit of hops thrown into it. It's really kind of like almost biscuity and bready, and there's no real balance. It's not overly sweet. It's quite a dry, almost like rich tea biscuits, digestive biscuits. They're not overly sweet, are they? But it's very biscuity. It's very kind of rich tea-like, cracker bread-like. But then there's nothing after it. There's no real hop finish. The trouble is it's brewed on a budget. It's brewed on a complete budget of getting that can on that shelf for £1.19, and that's where it all starts to fall down. There's absolutely no off flavours in the beer. If you're looking for a really cheap lager that is not so much in any way hoppy, it's just like a base malt lager, then you'd be happy with this. It's 4%. You know, Magic Rock, it's funny. They used to give the hops, the malt, the yeast on the side of the can. Very much in this very similar format here on the side. It's not Magic Rock though, is it? It's Fourpure. But instead of having this kind of hops, malt and yeast and water like some of the other craft brewers do, it's not just Magic Rock. They've replaced it with 4% ABV. The UK units, which who's interested in that? Beer style is lager. The volume is 330, and the calories are 124 per can. They haven't even like given the hops or the malt or the stuff that really people are interested in. So crafted in London, refreshingly crisp, based in Bermondsey, Fourpure has been brewing easy drinking, flavourful beer since 2013. Our lager is super drinkable, crisp and refreshing with a hoppy punch. Not really. It's a base lager. It's almost a cooking lager. Nothing wrong with it. But you're not going to be remembering this beer in 2 years' time. You're not going to be like, I had this amazing beer from Fourpure. Amazing lager. You're not going to be doing that. You're going to be forgetting this beer as quickly as you've drunk it. I'm all for a bargain. I love a bargain. But when a bargain starts to... when the product is affected then by that very bargain, I like a bargain where you'll go somewhere like B&M or Home Bargains and you'll pick up beer that it was brewed really well, but say like a shop couldn't sell it. So Home Bargains would buy up a load of that stock and then you'd have a bargain. You'd have good beer at a cheap price. This is average, very average at best lager at a cheap price at £1.19 a can. It's poor. It is poor. It's just poor in a sense that it's really boring. It's a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.